So there's been an increase in myocarditis and pericarditis, and a lot of authoritative sources have blamed this on COVID-19, saying that the COVID-19 virus has caused a lot of heart inflammation issues for people. Well, I have some evidence to the contrary of that, and I'm going to bring it to you today. But first, I'm going to give you an opportunity to hit that thumbs up button and the subscribe. Stay tuned. I've got two studies I want to bring you today, and the first one is from LSU, and it's a literature review of autopsies. And we're just going to quickly go over this abstract right here, and you can get the point. I'm going to leave a link to it down in the description so that if you want to go read the whole thing for yourself, you're more than welcome to. Is a literature review, and that means they went and they looked at autopsy reports from 22 separate publications of COVID-19 positive patients, and 97.6% had one or more comorbidities. And the initial review of the data showed that 7.2% might have had myocarditis, but a closer examination with additional reported information showed that it's not functionally significant. So, really, the number would be closer to less than 2%. And in conclusion, here, across 277 cases, COVID 19 related cardiac histopathological findings are common, while myocarditis is rare. So, what that means is there was a lot of cardiac problems with these COVID patients, but that was part of the comorbidity problem with COVID. If you had heart problems pre-existing, you already had a greater risk of dying from COVID-19. Myocarditis is inflammation of a otherwise healthy heart. So what this is showing us now is that the myocarditis is rare, and this is only 277 post-mortem examinations. It's a relatively small study, but the next study we're going to look at here is a lot bigger, and this is a much bigger deal, really. This is over at the PubMed.gov, and this is a study out of Israel. And what they did was they went back and they reviewed the health records of COVID-19 positive and COVID-19 negative patients back before the vaccine came out. So this is prior to the vaccine times. And what they found was really interesting. This is a large case, so 590,000 adults is what they studied. And all of these were done before the Israeli vaccination program was initiated. What they found was 9 post COVID-19 patients developed myocarditis, and that brings the rate to 0.0046%. And 11 patients were diagnosed with pericarditis. That's 0.0056%. So when you come down here, this is even more interesting. And there's not a huge difference between these two. And you can see that they kind of overlap back and forth. But these are incidents of myocarditis and pericarditis. And the blue line is people who had not have had COVID. These were the non-COVID patients. These were the people with COVID. And if you're thinking that looks like if you had COVID, your incidence of having myocarditis and pericarditis is lower than having no COVID, you are right. That's what that means right there. So take from that what you like. So what does all of this mean? Well, it means that if there is an increase in these incidents of myocarditis and pericarditis in our population, there has to be some other cause than what they're telling us, which is COVID-19. And I just can't quite think of it. But I'm not a scientist either. All I can do is read what other scientists write and trying to go off of that. But it looks like there's a different cause other than COVID-19 to the increased incidence of myocarditis and pericarditis. What could that be? I don't know. We'll find out soon, though, hopefully. Until next time, make sure that you hit that thumbs up, like button, subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and peace be with you. Goodbye.